I know that when I was auditioning for on-camera commercials, I got totally weirded out because I would walk into a room and everybody was side-eyeing each other and kind of sizing up the competition. And it just wasn't a
Yeah,
vibe
it's
I was excited about.
too bloodthirsty for me. I can feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. And voiceover, we all audition from home now. And I really miss going into an audition and seeing people I know,
Yeah.
because the community was like, that's really what fed me.
Yeah, I always tell people I feel like, and like just from me personally, like job interviews, I prefer to go
Yeah.
there and make more of a better impression when you're actually in front of somebody than talking to
Yes.
them through webcam. That's just my opinion.
Totally. Totally. I think we're all like hungry for human connection,
True.
you know?
Yo, what's good, anime fans? It's your boy, Raysean, from the Raysean Gadson Anime Podcast, or RGAP for short. And on today's episode, we got us a special guest, Megan Hollingshead, a professional voice actor who is known for Pokémon, Bleach, and Naruto. We're diving deep into the world of voice acting, talking about Megan's personal journey and her achievements. We'll also be chatting about our favorite Pokemons and tips for anyone out there trying to get into the industry. If that sounds interesting to you, then sit back and enjoy the ride. And don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you're watching.
I'm sorry, but I didn't write that book either, Brock. My mother was inspired by my grandmother's work, so she decided to carry it further. After a lot of work, she managed to get the factories and towns to stop polluting the lake. Then she was put in charge of draining the toxic water, cleaning the lake bed, and refilling it.
So not fair. You've got it all, Kurenai. You're fashionable, beautiful. Well, so how is he? Come on, Asuma, what's he like?
Sakura isn't herself right now. Try to go easy on her, all right? Now, Sakura, do you feel okay?
I am completely normal.
It is so cute! Maybe you losing your bunkai wasn't all bad after all. You rely on me, Growl. Hideko! Operation Millefeuille is a huge success. Full thin layers of ash. Then the captain covered the 3, 2, 1 meow. Finally, I just turned a millefeuille of ice with vacuum layers. Toe-to-toe with any Quincy, even without our bunkai.
Before we begin, I just want to allow my guest the opportunity to introduce himself, basically tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and also share with us your top 2 favorite Pokemon or characters from Pokemon and why.
All right. Excellent. Well, hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Megan Hollingshead. You would know me better as the voice of Nurse Joy from Pokemon or Mai Valentine in Yu-Gi-Oh! And Rangiku in Bleach, and Shizune in Naruto. Those are
Such classics.
Those are the ones people usually recognize me as. I've been working in this field since the late 90s and in anime and games, and I've done over 100 roles.
Wow. Okay.
Big and small. Mostly small. You mentioned Pokemon. That was my first job in the voiceover business. And so my favorite character is Nurse Joy. Because she gave me my start in anime.
That was your first role?
Yeah.
That's an amazing first role.
I know. I was so spoiled. I mean, I had no idea when I was cast. None of us had any idea in the US how big a deal it was going to be. That was sort of revealed gradually over time.
So have you played the Nurse Joy overall Pokemon series?
No. The cast has changed several times over the years. I was the original Nurse Joy, and I did it for about 6 seasons. and then I moved. We recorded in New York. I moved to Los Angeles to be closer to family, and I hoped they would let me record from LA, but technology isn't what it is now, and it was prohibitively expensive back then. So I had to leave my Nurse Joy and my Mai Valentine back in New York. Both characters were ably taken over by Erica Schroeder, who's awesome.
Okay.
And then over time, Erica and I got together over COVID, and we did a benefit with all the Nurse Joys. And so we cured COVID. No, we we tracked down everyone who had voiced Nurse Joy, and it turns out there were 6 of us.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and so we commissioned a special poster, and we all signed it and sold that, and then the profits went to I'm blanking on an organization that supports first responders.
Wow. Was it interesting kind of seeing all these people that has like a similar voice to you?
Erica was asked to voice match me.
Mhm.
The others, that's a really good question. I honestly didn't watch Pokemon after I was on it. I hope
I
that
feel
doesn't
like they
sound
have
rude.
all sound similar. I don't feel like I've ever heard one that was like, oh, this is someone different. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Well, yeah, then I'm sure you're right.
That's why I asked in the beginning. It was like, have you voiced from the whole series? I mean, like that has been a lucrative role because like that has been going on, and it's still going on technically.
It is. I was invited back a couple years ago to do Pokemon Journeys.
Okay.
I was living in LA at the time, and they moved, at least part of the production moved to Los Angeles. And so I was invited back to reprise the role. I was shocked. I was totally caught off guard. I knew there was a new Pokemon happening.
So you didn't audition or nothing for it. They just hit
No.
you up. Oh, that's
No, that's
amazing.
not true. That's not true. So Lisa Ortiz is the director, has been for years and years, and is a dear friend. And so Lisa had me come in and audition before we knew it was Pokemon, before they announced that they were making a new Pokemon. And she was kind enough to let me read for several roles. So I auditioned, just not for Nurse Joy. And
Okay.
so I got a call to come in and work, and I was super excited. I'm like, hey, great. Whatever it is, I'm game. And then I walked in, and so how it works is there's a director in one room and the actor in a different room, and we both have screens that we're looking at.
Mhm.
And so I walked into the recording booth, and the screen is up on the wall, and there's a picture of Nurse Joy, and I went, oh, I felt the tug on my heartstrings, but I still didn't know
That's who you had.
it was for me. Yeah. They could stop the scene anywhere to get ready for the next session. And so I said, oh, that's my Nurse Joy. And Lisa said, and that's who you're playing today. And I got all choked up, and I just grabbed her and hugged her. I was like, thank you so much.
Was it hard for you to get back into the voice, or is it something you like so naturally can do?
Yes and no. Like, it's a really good question, because what happened over time is like my memory of it has literally evolved.
Mm.
So when I do Nurse Joy now, I tend to go a little higher. I think I'm trying to compensate for having aged, so I'm always like, oh, she's young, she's very young. And in fact, my original Nurse Joy voice was a little deeper. She was, let's see if I can even pull her up. Your Pokemon will be just fine. It was more like that, although I just sounded like a robot. So everybody forgive me and ignore that. But yeah, so Lisa and the engineer, whoever it was, would pull up old tracks, and they would play it back, and they would say, this is what we're going for. This is what you're trying to match. And that's terrifically helpful. Even
Mhm.
just now as I'm like, oh, it's higher, oh, it's lower. Like, as a voice actor, I can do that, but to just listen to something, it it takes my brain out of it, which is a good thing. And my brain has a lot to say that's not always helpful. So,
I can understand that. I can understand that.
yeah.
I would like to tell you from my point of view, my favorite version of Nurse Joy, and
Tell
I
me.
and I pray you were in this. I think you were when I was looking it up, but it would hurt my feelings if you say that wasn't you. But
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you it was me then anyway. No.
from
No.
the first Pokemon movie,
Oh, yes. Yes, that was me. And it was a highlight. I
oh, that
mean,
was amazing. That's one of my favorite animated movies of all time. I just
oh,
love
I'm so glad to
how
hear that.
it feels like a Pokemon movie. You're just your
Yeah.
random Pokemon movie, but the whole underlying message that's in the movie is amazing. Because I always tell
So
people,
good.
like, if you want to just see like a random movie that talks about segregation and
Yep.
slavery and
Yes.
Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, like all this is in one movie about Pokemon. It is so crazy how deep it is.
That's like, and I didn't get it the first time I saw it. I mean, I was seeing it in bits and pieces, right? We
Mhm.
record one at a time. So I would just be exposed to the part I was in,
Mhm.
and and a director would kind of fill me in. So, and then I went to see it in the movie theater, and I was just so excited and so blown away. And only recently I rewatched it with my kiddo, and I was like, dang, this is better than I realized. Like,
It's an
it
amazing movie.
it really is. And I think, hats off to the Japanese for their art form and
Mhm.
for the complex layers that are there in so much anime. Like, it's not the cartoons I grew up with. It's a much more complex, nuanced art form. And I'm just so appreciative. I love that stuff.
Was that the first movie you voiced for?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Was the process different voicing for like the movie than the anime, or was it kind of similar since they both kind of Japanese
Yeah.
animations?
Yeah, good question. It was a similar process, right?
Mhm.
Like, we look at the script, we hear the Japanese, um, and we watch the screen while we're recording so we can see how the character's mouth is moving. So the setup was all the same, but for that first movie, they wanted it to sound amazing. So we went to actual um sound stages, actual, like, I just remember this giant room, and they had all the Foley equipment there, like,
Okay, so
you
y'all
know
was like recording together?
no, we still weren't
Oh, okay.
recording together, but it was just a much cooler, um
Experience.
yeah, I felt like,
Okay.
"Woo, look at me, I've hit the big time." Um,
So this is
so
what the
it was
movie
pretty fun.
people get. Okay, I feel
Yeah,
that.
and then, down the road, like, each movie got, progressively, I won't say smaller, but they realized that they could do just as much in the studios we recorded the TV show for. Like, those studios were fine,
Yeah.
So they were like, okay, we can still make movies without doing the movie studio experience.
Yeah,
Um,
I do feel like that first Pokemon movie got a whole different experience because it was more like a whole culture event when it happened. Because I mean, you got
yes,
to see it in movie theaters. It was just a whole different experience than
it
the rest of the
totally
other
was.
Pokemon movies. But I
Yeah.
just feel like that first one was huge. But that was the when Pokemon was right at its biggest trend when it first
Yes.
came over. So
Yes.
definitely,
Yes. And so that was like the first time I had a sense how big this thing was. You got to remember there was no internet, or very
true,
little.
true.
And so we weren't getting the same kind of instant feedback that we would get now. Um, when they asked me to do the show, all they told me about it was it's a weird Japanese cartoon. And which it is, but there's so much more to the story. And I heard that and I was like, heck yeah, I'm in, I want to audition for that. So and as we were recording, we didn't know what was going to happen. I was thrilled that I was on TV. I was like, everybody. And I remember my mom saying, I'm not getting up that early. Set your VCR because I'm not getting up that early. So gradually, I remember Rachel Lillis talked about the first time she was on the subway and a kid had a Pikachu, a stuffed Pikachu. And she was like, oh, wow.
They got
And yeah, and I remember when my cousin called and said, oh my God, my kids think you're amazing and they watch the show all the time. And I was like, oh wow, that's cool. And
I think it's amazing they were able to recognize that with you.
Well, they knew,
Okay.
the family had told them. And then, but the fact that the kids were into this show, I was like, wow, that's cool. And I went to visit them, and one of a neighbor kid came over and couldn't talk to me, was just like, and I was like, oh, maybe this is a bigger thing than I realized. And it was really like you were talking about when that first movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of cast members, we all went to the opening night, and the crowds that were there and the excitement, it just blew me away. That's when I was like, oh, this is a much bigger phenomenon than I realized.
No,
it was so cool. It was so cool.
Before we get into any more questions, I want to just go ahead and say what my two favorite Pokemons are.
Oh yeah, please.
For my top two, we just talked about the movie earlier. For my first one, it has to be Mewtwo.
Absolutely.
I think Mewtwo is an amazing Pokemon. I like the fact that he was able to fight for what he wanted. He basically tried to fight for his own freedom, and also the fact that he was trying to protect other Pokemons. I love it. For my second one, it's funny because I know a lot of people associate this Pokemon more towards the bad guys, but I love Meowth. I think he's one of the funniest characters they have put in Pokemon. I love the fact that he's a normal type Pokemon, so you can teach him any type of moves, but that's more Pokemon lore. But I think Meowth is amazing.
Totally. And the two actors that I knew who voiced Meowth were the original is Matthew Sussman, who his characterization is just so funny and so clever, and it just worked so well. And later Matthew went on tour with a show, and so they brought in Maddie Blaustein to play the role. And Maddie, I mean, what an amazing performer, just so gifted. So for me, I can't watch it without thinking of those two tremendous actors.
Yeah, and they do a phenomenal job, because I mean, for Meowth to be a character that's a Pokemon that's still talking, they make the character so funny, and you can tell they having a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. So did you play the video games or the card games or both?
I've played the games that were on the GameCube, and also on the I can't even think of the system I had them on, but I've played the Pokemon games. Yes.
Nice.
The Game Boy Color. Yes, I've played a lot of them.
Right. Very cool.
But they don't never really have like your Nurse Joys or anything in them. I had one that had Nurse Joy, and that was on my Nintendo 64, and I think that was Battles, I think. But I know you used to battle Pokemon on that game, but it was pretty fun.
I never played the video games. I've tried to play the card games. I'm not good at games. I am
I agree with you with the card games. I've loved the cards and I think they're
Yes.
amazing and everything.
Yes.
And I love all those people who collect them and have those big binders and everything. But I've
Yes.
never took the time to learn the game. And it's not that I don't want to learn it, but sometimes, some things are just better for me to watch other
Totally.
people play. You know what I mean? Because
Totally.
a lot of stuff you got to remember, know how
Yep.
these cards play and all that. And sometimes I'm just wanted to see other people do it. You know what I mean?
I totally agree. It's especially as we get older, I'm like, I can't master everything.
Yeah.
I can appreciate people who can.
No.
That's good.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
Before we get into our questions, I want to ask you, what have you recently been watching or listening to or playing?
So playing wise, actually, in a lot of ways, I'm constantly following my kiddos' leads. They have been super into Roblox. So
okay.
they roped me into I can't remember the first game we played. But guess what? I'm terrible at Roblox. And so they're like, let's have family night so we can watch mom like be bad at this. My little Roblox just go bashing into walls constantly. Boom, boom. I cannot steer, I cannot move them. But I have fun and I get very like
into it.
Yeah, I'm like, don't talk to me till I get out of this corner. And we've been playing actually we haven't been playing as much. For a while we were playing Dress to Impress all the time. And that's a perfect game for me because like it's not really a game. I mean, I'm fighting the clock and then 8-year-olds vote on what you look like. and I'd be out there like, you think that's like the theme would be 1980s? And I'm like, you think that's an 80s outfit? Like,
I feel you.
So that's been super fun. What have I been watching?
Have you seen any new movies?
What's that?
Have you seen any new movies?
I'm just trying to think. Oh no, you know what? The most recent movie I saw, we were a kid and one of my kids and I were going to a movie and the only thing playing at the time we could go, they brought back The Wiz. They were showing The Wiz in theaters.
Wow. Okay.
And I had watched like parts of it as a kid, but now they've restored it and it's beautiful and now it's in the big screen. And
The Wiz with Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's brilliant.
I know. I had no idea till the day we went to see it. I'm like, The Wiz, really? Michael Jackson is extraordinary. It's so good. It's held up so well. So that's the last thing I saw, randomly enough. I'm excited about seeing what's the latest Marvel movie about the bad guys?
The new Avenger movie that just came
Yeah.
out?
I want to see that one, and I want to see Sinners. I've heard Sinners is great.
Oh, okay. That vampire movie with Michael B. Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of scenes from that on TikTok. It does look good.
Yeah. I don't usually like horror, but it sounds so good.
That's interesting you say that because horror movies are probably my second favorite thing to watch other than anime.
Is that right?
Watch horror movies all day.
Nice.
I want to watch the new Final Destination that came out, but haven't had an opportunity to go to the movie theaters to see it. I just rewatched all the previous ones, and man, they're pretty good. I like the Final Destination. They're not your slashers. That's usually my favorite type of horror movies and paranormal because I find those to be the more scarier ones than your other type of random thrillers. But I will have to say that's one that I can't wait to watch. I just recently watched the Halloween movie series again.
Oh, cool.
I kind of just wanted to see. I can't think of her name. Her name is always on the tip of my tongue, but the main actress in the Halloween would be
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Is it Jamie Lee Curtis?
The mother. Jamie Lee Curtis played the mother.
Yes, let
Yeah.
me look it up real quick.
Hooray for the internet.
Where would we be without it?
I know. We'd just be like, I wonder who did that.
Oh, you were right. Jamie Lee Curtis for Laurie Strode. I don't know why I thought the name was something else, but yeah, it was Jamie Lee Curtis, and I know that because she just recently won an Oscar.
That's right. She
And
did, didn't she?
And I was very happy for her because I thought
Yeah.
she's amazing, and all the roles I've seen her in, and the fact that I think Halloween is pretty good, and the fact that she came back to do the last 3 movies. And I've been wanting to do some more research to see if she actually became like a producer on them or anything, because I mean, I feel like her coming back to reprise her role is like a big thing, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
but for like anime wise, I've finished kind of caught up with One Piece. I've also watched Invincible. I don't know if you heard it.
Catching up with One Piece is quite a feat, so bravo. I know there's a lot of episodes.
Oh, it's taken me a while, but recently I tried to take a little bit of a break, trying to not catch up on everything, because right now I've been on a little bit of a rut trying to find something to watch, because it's been like watching things episodic to me is not the way to go. I kind of like to wait the series kind of finish, then kind of binge them.
Oh, you like binge. Yeah.
I'm not a watch an episode person, because it just always has me on edge at the end of the episode. Like, when is the next episode coming out? I have to wait a whole week for this. Oh man.
Yeah. See, I miss that. I miss like everybody being on the same page. But back in the TV days where you know, you'd wait and see what happened on the X-Files. Like
but
that was a cliffhanger. What's gonna happen next? Who is the smoking man? Like all that fun stuff.
See, it's different when it's regular TV and it's like no source material that kind of you can look up to kind of figure out what's happening. See, with anime, you can just go get the book. Like if you get to the point where you're like, I can't wait till next week. Let me just go get the manga.
Let me get the manga. Yeah. Well, you know, I never when Bleach paused for 20 years. I had no idea what was coming, but I having done conventions before Thousand Year Blood War was back, people would say, "Are you excited about Thousand Year Blood War?" And I'm like, "I don't know. You tell me." You know, they're like, "Don't worry, Rangiku will be back, and some cool things are gonna happen." And so I got like, I had some info before it came back from the manga fans.
Okay. So you're talking about Bleach. Let's go ahead and jump right into our interview. For my first question, I wanted to ask you basically, how was your experience working on Bleach and getting to play 2 powerful female vice captains from Rangiku? And also, I don't know why her name is the shorter, but I always mess up her name.
Nemu.
Yeah. Nemu. How was it playing these characters, and was it hard coming up with a voice for them?
Not really. Rangiku is very similar to Mai Valentine in terms of my voice.
I was going to say that. I was going to say you kind of sound similar, like when you just said that to Rangiku.
Yeah. Yeah, and when I first started out, Wendy Lee was directing, who's an amazing actress and an amazing director. She's such a pleasure to work with. And it was, I want to say, I don't even remember which was Rangiku's first episode, but Rukia was set to be executed. And so it was very serious and high drama. And so Wendy did such a good job of keeping me real, right? Because Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh could be very over the top, very cartoony, you know. Currently, like when I get auditions, 99 times out of 100, the direction is real people, not cartoony. Sometimes they don't mean it, but that's usually the direction. And for those episodes of Bleach, that was the direction. And so Wendy Lee really helped shape that performance. And then all of a sudden, Rangiku's just drinking sake and being completely obnoxious. And so
And then
I
they're
was
like,
like,
be more cartoony now.
yeah. But even then, like, yes, broad, very broad. This is why I think theater is such a good, like, background for anime, because broad doesn't mean fake. And that's kind of it literally is a hard balance. You know, sometimes a line or a scene just seems so big, it's easy to
Overdo it.
stop acting. Yeah. Yeah. And stop connecting with the character. And directors like Wendy Lee and Mary Elizabeth McGlynn and many others are so good at pulling it back, making it real, and helping the actor find just that right space where you can be ridiculous, but also grounded.
Okay.
So working on Bleach, that was really a huge takeaway for me, was learning to split those two ends of the spectrum. And then I fell in love with Rangiku. Like, oh my God, I love this
She's an
woman. I'm
amazing character.
so lucky to be in her shoes. This is so fun. So fun. And then, you know, amazing tough battle scenes. So like, oh my gosh, to get to be a character who's sexy and funny and strong, and then just goes out as a warrior and kicks ass. Like, oh my God, it's so awesome. I'm so lucky. Yeah.
Funny thing about Rangiku as a character is she's one of those characters you know could be a captain if she took a lot more of her stuff serious. Like the fact that she's like only really serious when, I guess you could say, battle, but for her duties like on the job, she usually passes them off to other people and stuff. So I find that to be hilarious.
Exactly.
But she's a very competent soul reaper. Like that's the crazy thing about it.
Totally. She's good at her job. And then Nemu, like, Nemu came later in the series, and actually kudos to whoever cast me in that role, because she's so different from Rangiku. You know, it's not like I'm gonna get mixed up, you know.
I wasn't working with Terrence. I just recently interviewed him.
Oh, you did? Oh, that's really cool. Well, you know, we didn't get to work together.
Oh, yeah, I've never done like any scenes together.
Well, we have, but we recorded separately. So, I mean, I always say that like the best situation is when you're the last to record, so that you do get to work off other actors and that whole thing. But
so have you ever met?
We have, but you know, only for short times.
It's not a whole like master vice captain relationship.
No, which is probably for the best given that relationship. I was super weirded out. I mean, the way Mayuri's drawn is so scary. I find him one of the most frightening figures in anime. I mean, just from an art perspective, I'm like, wow, that's really good. Yeah, really good.
Very distinctive character. I like how Mayuri comes out, and the fact that he's one of those few characters you see in anime that literally every different arc or different season of the anime you get to see a different version of him, because he literally likes to dress up in different paints and different stuff like that. So, I mean, like even in the 1,000-Year Blood War arc, he has a whole different dress up that he's fighting the Quincy's in. And how was that playing in that last fight battle and you have to give your life up? Oh,
it was so poignant. I had, you know, playing Nemu always made me uneasy. This subservient character, really, you know, in some ways abused, you know. it
Yeah.
it was it was uncomfortable, except in like some of the goofier scenes. Like that was
Mhm.
always a relief to do a goofy scene with Nemu. But yes, it felt like
It made sense.
everything. Yes. Everything I had done before, everything Nemu had done before came to fruition in Thousand Year Blood War. And it was so beautiful. So beautiful. I am, you know, as happened so many times, I'm really humbled by the work to
Yeah.
be a part of that. What a gift. How lucky am I? Like, it's just absolutely gorgeous storytelling.
Yes, I think just the whole symbolism of the fight, her basically coming in to protect her master and basically
Oh,
being like, I'm your greatest creation. And then Mairi doing everything he can to save her at the end just to kind of bring her back to life. And that to be like the only time you ever see that in him. Because I mean, he's the type
yes.
of character who wants to dissect everybody, but to see him actually want to risk his life to save somebody was different. That was a whole different emotion you saw that came out of him right there. So,
Such a surprise. Was such a surprise. Yeah.
but my
Yeah,
next
that's
question
cool.
I want to ask you is, what got you interested in acting, and when did voice acting become an interest?
Oh, cool. Um, so I just have to go back, because I think a lot of people ask me, how do I get into anime? I love anime so much. I want to do voiceovers too. And it really strikes a chord with me. For me, as a tween and a teen, I was really into action adventure and sci-fi. So all things Star Wars, all things Star Trek. And my particular favorite, well, I loved all the Spielberg movies. My particular favorite was Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay.
And um, you know, maybe VCRs had been invented. We certainly didn't have one. I went to the movie theater 11 times the summer it came out to see it. And
Wow. Okay.
yeah, I was a fan. I fangirled hard. And so I had like every book or everything I could find about the movie I had. And one of those was a book called Making of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it was literally like the story of how the film was made and where they shot and what it was like. And
Oh, that's pretty dope.
yeah, because when I saw the movie, I wanted to crawl into that movie and be a part of it, you know? So then I read that people do crawl in, they are a part of it, you know? And so I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to make movies. And I thought, I remember my mom saying, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know, lights or something. Like, I don't know. And I was, I don't know, somewhere between 11 and 13. And I wrote like an 8-page letter to Steven Spielberg
Ooh,
explaining,
okay.
explaining why I would be an asset to the next,
Was it
to
for
the,
production or were you trying to be an
yeah,
actress?
no, at the time I just wanted to be in the production. I just wanted to be a part of it. And then, so, you know, uh, by the time I was ready to start high school, I was like, I'm going to make movies. I, I was passionate about it. And my mom said, well, if you're going to make movies, maybe you should join the theater department at school. And I thought, good idea, woman.
Makes sense.
So, yeah, so I did crew for a couple of years. And then one of my teachers said, you should audition, just audition. And I I got the lead in The Crucible, which frankly, I don't know. It was a big play for high school kids to do, but I had a great time. I was like, "Oh, I love this." But I've always been very practical. And somehow even in high school I was like, I don't want to be an actor because I don't want that level of competition and uncertainty. And, probably I didn't want to get hurt.
Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah. So
because it's hard trying to try so hard for something and then not get it and
yeah.
not know why you didn't get it. Really,
Oh
that
my
has
God.
to hurt.
Oh my God. It does. I mean, over the years, I've learned not to take it personally because it's really not. It's really not personal.
But that's
Um,
hard, no matter
Oh,
what.
yes. And I would say on average, like 1 out of 15 or 20 auditions feels like, ouch. I really wish I'd got that. That would have been a good one. But it passes. Everything passes.
Are you at that point
Yeah.
now where you're like, if it's for me, it'll just come to me?
A little bit. I don't think it'll just come to me.
Okay.
I know I have to work my tush off. Well, yes and no. Like, I worked my tush off as an actor. Once I finally, I fell in love with theater, moved to New York, worked in theater. I did accounting, company management, I did press, I did all sorts of different things. But I finally admitted that I wanted to act. And so I did like a 2-year acting program, and I committed to acting no matter how big or how small, and I was like, okay, today my job as an actor is to do this audition. Hey, I got to do an audition. Today my job is to do this experimental theater in an under 99 seat house, which means I'm not going to get paid for it. I'm going to get 2 subway tokens a day was what the union required. But I get to do this. I get to do this thing I love. I really thought that was my life. Like, I would have a day job and I would get to do acting later. And then I was, and voiceover wasn't even on my radar. I didn't even know it was, I knew people did voiceover, but I guess I would have thought they were all in LA. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when you realize they're all in Texas. You're like, what? Really?
Yeah. Wait, what? But a huge part of my journey has been saying yes, so, and doing scary things.
That's all
And
what life's about.
right. And also value community. That's
one thing I've noticed doing voice actor interviews, the amount of friendships and how like that come together. It seems like a very nice community. Not saying it's probably not have its bad spots in certain areas, but it seems like a nice community and that you all help each other get to what you need to do. Because voice acting, it seems like a hard field, and no one seems like they actually know the right route to tell people to go. So actually having a community of people that's willing to help you is really,
it's huge. It's huge. And I've gotten so much out of it. Like, I love these people. I really do. It's just such a good group. The same's true of theater, like this community. I don't have as much experience in film, so I can't say. I know that when I was auditioning for on-camera commercials, I got totally weirded out because I would walk into a room and everybody was side-eyeing each other and kind of sizing up the competition. And it just wasn't a vibe I was excited about.
Too bloodthirsty for me. I can feel that.
Yeah. And voiceover, we all audition from home now. And I really miss going into an audition and seeing people I know.
Yeah.
Because the community was like, that's really what fed me.
Yeah, I always tell people, I feel like, and like just from me personally, like job interviews, I prefer to go there and make more of a better impression when you're actually in front of somebody than talking to them through webcam. That's just my opinion.
Totally. I think we're all like hungry for human connection.
True. But winding down to my last two questions.
Oh,
But my next question I want to ask you is, do you think there's any misconceptions about voice acting?
ooh, that is a really good question. No one's ever asked me that before. I think I hear people talk about, I think it was Mrs. Doubtfire, maybe. There's a scene where Robin Williams
Mm-hmm.
is in a recording booth, and animation is playing, so there's something already up there, and he gets to riff and be all crazy. And
Was this for when he did the Aladdin movie?
no, I mean, he did do the Aladdin movie, but
Okay.
this was a scene,
And Mrs. Doubtfire?
yeah,
Oh,
where
okay,
he's
okay.
got an acting job and he's doing all these characters at the same time. And it's such a great vision. So I hate when people ask me, like, I hate when people think that's what it's like, and then I get to disappoint them. Be like, nah, I'm alone in a room and I only get to do one character at a time. And because the characters' mouths are moving in sync with the Japanese actors who originally voiced it, I'm like totally focused. And the only improv that happens is after we've gotten the take, you know? And then if I try to be funny, I can't. So it's my sessions are probably among the most boring of the day because I'm so concerned.
But a lot of your
about
characters
doing
have
it
like
right.
more like a AI type of voice, like a robotic type of voice. Like Nurse Joy's voice is a little robotic, but
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I wouldn't say like it's not like a person, but you could tell
Yeah.
like they all sound similar. Like
Oh,
every time you
interesting.
see the character, that's what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
And even like Nemu more is like she's not her voice is more soft and not like
Yes.
a lot of emotion into it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Nemu keeps things very under wraps. And that is so hard to play. In fact, I asked Michelle Ruff because Rukia keeps things kind of under wraps as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's challenging not to be robotic, you know, not to just let things go and stare off into space, but to have the feelings and, you know, be a character who pushes everything down so they sound perfectly happy even when things are hard.
Yeah.
You know, like it took me a while to get into that rhythm, but that's a tough role.
One thing I found interesting is because I didn't realize before, because the main thing that sold me I wanted to interview you was that you
Aw.
were Nurse Joy. I didn't know you were Shizune from Naruto until
Oh
I kind of
yeah.
seen it, and then for some reason, I don't know if this is to me, I feel like those two characters sound kind of similar.
Wow, I never thought of that until you said it, but it makes total sense. They're about the same age. They're both healers. They both serve others. That's really interesting and it makes sense. Yeah.
Do you think you use a similar voice style, or do you think they're two separate voices from your point of view?
When I work on those shows, I step into a very different feeling. I guess I'm a little bit visual because when I see those characters, that's what
voice you come
helps
up.
me go there. Yeah. Like when I auditioned for Mai Valentine, it was seeing her in her purple suit and her high boots and the big hair. And I was like, oh, I
got her.
me, I step into her boots. Yeah. So it's similar. I look at them and I have relationships with them now. You know, I know about Nurse Joy and I know about Shizune. And so for me, they come from different places, but I'm still Megan. And so I bring my experiences and my day to each of those characters. And there's bound to be similarities.
And for my last question, I want to ask you: is there any advice you want to give to anybody out there that wants to become a voice actor?
Yeah.
I know there's no route that's similar for anybody to go,
Yeah.
but what have you seen that you think is something people can do?
Yeah. I mean, things have changed so much since I got into the business. I had a CD with my demo on it, so that's how
Mm,
long ago it was. But if I can convey any of my experience, it's say yes. And the arts are so deep, and our experiences working as artists are so varied. Um, Stay plugged into your community. Oh, well, okay, let's go back. Take acting classes. Take acting classes, take acting classes, take acting classes,
for sure.
and build that community. You're going to meet other people in acting classes who want to do the same thing. Um, Try to act every day, you
Mhm.
know, um, whether that's
Practice makes
practicing at
perfect.
home. Yeah. Um, Children's books are a great resource. Imagine um, voicing each character in a children's book and making it appealing to an audience. Um, Say yes. It may go in a totally different direction than where you think it's going to go,
You never
and
know.
be willing to jump in that boat, or,
Okay.
be willing to try different things.
That's some great advice right there. We've all heard the go acting, take acting classes. That's probably the number one advice that we get from every voice actor, and I think that's
Yeah.
the most important
Yeah.
advice you can give people, because it's like, why get into this without knowing how to act,
Yeah.
without knowing how to convey emotions and bringing a
Yeah.
thing to life? And you see the difference between voice actors that can do that and ones that cannot do that. So
Yeah.
I feel like you want to be in those, the other side, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It takes real practice and real work. Yeah.
But with that, I just want to say thank you for coming on.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been such a joy chatting with you. You have great questions, and it's just easy to talk to you. So thank you.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you too. It's been one of my dreams to have someone from Pokemon come on. So
Oh,
I
I'm
never
so
thought I would
glad.
have somebody as like Nurse Joy. So I hopefully I can have Brock and Ash and Misty and
Yeah.
all of them come on. That would be
Oh, I
amazing.
hope so. They're all such lovely people. You'll really enjoy it.
But with that, that ends today's episode. I want to thank my guests for coming on and chatting it up with me. I had a whole lot of fun and learned so
Me
much
too.
more about the industry of voice acting, and
Cool.
hopefully you listeners did too. But before we close, I just want to allow my guest the opportunity to plug herself and basically tell everybody where they can find you. So basically, just give us your social media.
Awesome. So I'm on Instagram at Megan Hollingshead VO. Same with Facebook, and Instagram's mostly the one I check. So reach out there. Love to hear from you.
All right. And I'll have all her links and stuff below. So if you guys have any questions about Pokemon or voice acting, just go ahead and hit her up. And
Yeah.
with that, I just want to say peace.
Peace.